Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and this is an SU-14-1, the Tier 7 Soviet SPG, and we're on the south spawn of Malinovka, and it's being commanded by Heimblood76. Now, he's a member of a fellow Arty website, which is also on Facebook, but for German players, or mostly German players. And we've done some of their videos, and they've joined our page, and we've joined their page on occasion. So quite interesting that we get a player from a different country. In fact, actually, we always get players from different countries because most of the members of What Arty Noobs are from different countries. Okay, and the battle's commenced. And so look, we've got our first target. It's a Tiger 1. He's hiding behind that rock. Not going to protect him very much from a shell though. Coming over the top of the rock. Although the problem is actually the Arty shell might actually hit the rock on the way in. Fairly good chance, but there's a target that won't be protected by rock. It's an Panther 88. Enough lead. Looks like it. Now it's coming up. It's using that bush. Round out. It's nice of him to stop there and allow us to shoot him. 448 hit points, 2 critical hits. Good shot. Okay, 88 thinks he's safe in that bush. Again, not using bush mechanics properly. Indicating target halfway through the load cycle. He's getting hit. One more hit, or even a splash from an Arty shell will be enough to kill him. The Panther, well, he's still got 769 hit points left. He won't have that for very much longer because Arty shell's on the way in. Oh, and it overshot. That's RNG for you. It missed by some distance, actually. That's the one bad thing about the SU-14-1. It does have a very long load cycle. There's that SU, well, that Panther 88. He's not actually going for cover at all, but that's because his teammate has already made it down to the other bush down at grid square K3, and that round went straight in. So we don't know how much damage it did, but it definitely hit the Panther 88. And that Type 62 is taking an enormous risk moving to those mid bushes. I think he was probably spotting from there and trying to do his best, but obviously that's not helped him. Okay, Cromwell B making a quick dash. He's coming over with the Panther 88. They think they're safe. That Panther 88 is taking a hell of a risk just going on the edge there because, yep, that's what I mean. Sitting on the edge like that can be very, very dangerous. And that Comet's been hit pretty hard as well. And he's got the support of that Cromwell B, but that Cromwell B won't be around for very much longer if he keeps motoring that way. Because the enemy's just lost their Comet. Lining him up for a shot. Has he been tracked? If he was, he's burnt his repair kit. He stopped very sudden, and I think that may have been a track, but he's been taken out. The M6 got him. Okay, they have a Stura Mill which took out the guard. Right, here's that Heimblood's relocating. Just reposition a little. particular version of the SU-14-1 actually has a 203mm howitzer on it. That's the one that does the most damage, but it also has a very long load cycle. Now some players actually use the 152mm howitzer instead, because it's got a much faster load cycle, so you can do more damage to more enemy tanks, and that can help if you want to get Confederate. Now it's a lovely shot there on the Tiger 1. It's tracked him, and he's picked up 376 hit points and a lot of stun, so he's picking up stun assist on top of that. But he has moved, or needs to move. The Tiger's been taken out. Might be a good idea to actually turn around and drive forward away, because the reverse speed of these Artys is very slow, and sometimes it does help to go forward because you're going at twice the speed, and then pivot once you reach the new position. I also see that Hindblood is carrying 2 rounds of premium ammunition as well. It's got 9 rounds of standard left. That's quite a good loadout. Having 2 rounds of premium does pay dividends if you have to use them on a particular occasion, such as there's a couple of stubborn enemies hiding behind a rock and you want to extract them. Okay, they've lost the health cap as well now. But that Type 62 is taking a big risk coming down where he was. And that round went in. Yeah, no idea if that hit the target, but I suspect it was near it, because the Type 62 did appear to be backing away, using the cover of those bushes. Scores are fairly even. 88 has turned up. He's using the cover of the buildings to fire on the defenders. But that round splashed him. That was a beautifully placed round alongside him. We're actually slightly behind the 88, but so it must have gone long. But it was perfect because it did enough splash damage, and the 203mm cannon howitzer does actually do a lot of splash. It has a big radius, so it does actually help sometimes to have the 203. But personally, I prefer the fire rate of the 152. It's just that it's much easier to fire a lot more rounds. Right, that Type 62 went all the way back into the enemy territory, probably because he has so little health. It does appear that Hindblood did hit him, because he has lost health in the meanwhile. That round's out. Oh no, it's just far enough away that he wasn't splashed by it. That's unfortunate. That's the trouble with lights, they tend to move fairly quickly. Scores are still even. Right, this time Hindblood is driving forward to reposition to the new firing position. I find it's much easier to do that. Right, the Type 62's come back south again. And he's been taken out very promptly by the M6. Who's not going to have any truck with that. And there's the Stirring Mill. Right, he's using that little hill to play hide and seek with the medium that's down there. Not really going to help him if he gets taken out though. And Hindblood is loaded and ready to shoot. Rounds out. That shell, ooh, did a lot of damage. 330 hit points, 1 critical hit. And he's been taken out. So he picked up the stun assist on that one as well, but unfortunately we lost the T-34-85. Now it shows there is a Scorpion G there as well, nearby, because he was able to take out the T-34. Right, 5916 Chinese light tank. Again, these are very fast, very nippy, but very dangerous. Although some of the Unicums don't particularly like the 5916 as a tank. They are just very much like the ELC in the sense that they are a bit of a nuisance tank to play against. But that one was taken out by the Löwe on top of the hill. Okay, so scores are still even, 11 each. I would say on the whole, though, the Heimbloods team does have the advantage. After all, they do have two heavies, a light tank and, of course, the Arty. Whereas the enemy team has a heavy, a tank destroyer, the Scorpion, a light tank and an Arty. And their Arty's an M12, their light tank's an AMX 12 ton, their heavy tank's an OI, or rather their heavy tank was an OI because he's just been killed. He was just taken out by the Type 64. Okay, there's the Scorpion G. This is one of those instances where premium rounds really would help, because you could splash a lot of damage into that Scorpion G. Aha! 321 hit points is pretty good. 2 critical hits. Now he's got some stun assist on there as well, and he's being picked off. So he's picked up all of the remaining stun assist, all the remaining health and stun assistance. But we did lose the Tiger P to that M12, and we know where the M12 is. But unfortunately, Heimblood isn't loaded, so he can't fire yet. Again, that long reload cycle does present a bit of a problem. But the 12 ton is taking a lot of damage. Now, can they find the M12? There he is. Okay, and Heimblood is loaded, so he can take him out. Rounds out. Should be direct. It is. 350 hit points and wins the game. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it's an ace tanker for Heimblood 76 in the SU-14-1. He also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 9 in that one. And we can see that there. He came second on damage with 2,488 hit points. So he was beaten by the Löwe, 3023. He came second, or joint second, on kills with 3. The Löwe again beat him with 4 kills. And actually he could have platooned with the Löwe to actually get a brothers in arms as well. But Heimblood came top on base XP of 1,123 hit points because, of course, he was firing at tier 8 enemies, whereas the Löwe was a tier 8 firing at mostly lower tier enemies. So that's why he managed to pick up more base XP. He fired 11 rounds, got 2 direct hits, 2 penetration, 6 splash, damage of 2,488 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He hit 7 of the enemy, but killed 3 of them. He also did stun assistance damage of 1,223 hit points off 5 stuns. On a standard account, he earned 34,584 credits, and after ammunition resupply, he had 18,416 credits. He earned 1,123 base XP, but it was ×2 for the first victory, so he took away 2,403 experience points in total. So, good battle there, Heimblood. You did hit the enemy really hard, and even though you were challenged by the fact that it was the 203mm howitzer rather than the 152, you made good effect of it by getting some pretty good damage in there. So, well done. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay I'll be featuring in my next video.